What is up, everybody? Hello, welcome, konnichiwa, akwawa. Welcome to another video talking about One Piece, and I hope you're ready to talk some more about One Piece, and some more One Piece. Today we're diving into chapters 1120, 1121, and 1122, where the Straw Hats face off against the Gorosei in a thrilling escape from Egghead Island. Before we get into it, kindly like, comment, subscribe, and bless the channel and leave your mark by hitting the all so you don't miss any of my uploads or anything I put out there, okay? Now, what do you think will happen in the next saga, okay? Let me know in the comments down below because I am very intrigued, okay? So chapter 1120 titled Emeth kicks off with a flashback to 26 years ago, where we see a young Vegapunk in a heated discussion with Professor Clover, who we now know is Cleome D. Clover. Now, this revelation about Clover's D-clan heritage is mind-blowing, right? Because Clover's plea for help and Vegapunk's refusal sets the stage for an intense and emotional undercurrents of this chapter. Now, Clover's words about facing the truth and the past calling out to him hints at Vegapunk's internal struggle and the eventual transformation he's going to have. Now, fast forward to the present, the Straw Hats are still battling the Gorosei, and Vegapunk's broadcast is inspiring oppressed people worldwide. Vegapunk's statement that the truth will always find its way to the light if the oppressed endure and carry it on their backs is a powerful message about resilience and the quest for justice. This thematic connection ties back to the overarching narrative of One Piece, where the oppressed fight against the tyrannical forces. Now, in this chapter, the highlight here is Atlas's sacrificial act, ensuring that the Straw Hat crew and the last Vegapunk escape. Now, this moment is heart-wrenching, yet it showcases the themes of loyalty and sacrifice that runs deep in One Piece. Atlas's sacrifice for the greater good reflects the crew's unwavering commitment to each other and their mission. The emotional weight of this scene is amplified by the stark contrast between the intense battle and the quiet resolve of Atlas. In this chapter, we see Bonnie's power and Emeth arriving right in the nick of time, and this left everyone speechless. We have two Nikas on the battlefield, as well as their giant robot buddy helping them out. The Gorosei were being held back, and that's where One Piece chapter 1119 left us, with the Gorosei still reeling from Bonnie's transformation and Emeth coming back to life suddenly. It looks like things were starting to shape up for the Straw Hats, but the question remains, will the Straw Hats be able to escape, or will the two Nikas flying around their giant robot friend be enough to bring down the strong people and the world government? So, with 3 new chapters out, we're finally seeing what Oda has planned for the final saga. These chapters has brought us to the end of the Egghead Island arc, and now the final saga is here. So let's jump into 1120 titled Emeth, right? The chapter starts with a flashback to 26 years ago, pausing Vegapunk's broadcast and the fight between the Gorosei and the Straw Hats. We see a younger Vegapunk talking with Professor Clover, or rather Cleome D. Clover. So Clover has been a part of the D-clan all this time. Like, who would have known? Like, the quest for the truth wasn't just because he was an archaeologist. It's because he was part of the D-clan the whole time. But in this chapter, we see that Clover asks Vegapunk for help, but Vegapunk refused to do anything. And Clover tells Vegapunk that he will one day face the truth and that the past will call out to him too. And the flashback ends with Vegapunk walking away from one of his only friends. Now, we cut to 22 years ago, 4 years after Clover and Vegapunk had their final meeting. We see that Professor Clover has died in a buster call, and it looks like Vegapunk finally realizes the significance of Clover's research. And we finally cut back to the present time, with the broadcast still going on and the battle between the Gorosei and the Straw Hats going in full swing. Vegapunk talks about how the truth will always find its way to the light if the oppressed endure and carry it on their backs. This is how the world will change. The oppressed will come to light, and the people around the world will work together to make sure that no one must go through what they went through. And with this emotional moment, we finally get back to Zoro and the rest of the crew. Natsujiro is still hot on their trail, and it looks like he's not going anywhere without a fight. But Zoro and the rest of the crew can't escape unless someone jumps off to stop him. So Atlas takes the fall after Lilith tries to stop the horse-like Gorosei all by himself. This moment was emotional, and it ended up with Atlas sacrificing herself to make sure that the Straw Hats can escape on their ship. And that is where our adventure with Zoro and the other half of the crew comes to a pause, because it's time for our giant robot buddy to do his work. Oda really loves his flashbacks and emotional moments, but it's time we got back to the real action. It's high time we see what Emeth and Luffy are up to, and it looks like the giant robot is reminiscing about Joy Boy and is glad that it gets to help Joy Boy once again. Vegapunk's broadcast goes on in the background, and the Gorosei aren't going to let Emeth recover just like that. And in a classic Luffy fashion, the captain of the Straw Hats doesn't realize that Emeth is only speaking to him and no one else can hear him. How does this guy Luffy still not know who Joy Boy is? I know he's dense, but come on, you were on Fishman Island. You should definitely know who Joy Boy is, right? Anyway, Jupiter wastes no time and immediately attacks Emeth as it's talking to Luffy. It looks like it still thinks that Luffy is the Joy Boy. Now, while Saturn jumps on the giant ship and tries to stop Bonnie and Kuma from escaping, chaos ensues. But there is a glimmer of hope, and the Thousand Sunny flies over everything as Atlas blows herself up to make sure that the Straw Hats make it out alive. And York is the final remaining Vegapunk alive right now. The chapter ends with Emeth staring ahead as both Valkyrie and Jupiter get ready to jump him. In chapter 1121, titled The Ebbs and Flows of Ages, the action wraps up as Luffy and Bonnie unleash their Liberating Nika Punch against Saint Saturn, demonstrating their incredible teamwork that they have so far. The sight of two Nikas flying around is enough to leave even the most seasoned fighters speechless. Bonnie's transformation and the combined powers of the Nikas highlights the evolving strength and unity of the Straw Hats. Vegapunk still reveals that the ancient weapons that once sank the world are still in use today, hinting at the world government's dark secrets. This revelation adds another layer to the narrative, tying back to the themes of hidden histories and the consequences of past actions. Vegapunk's speech about the hunted and the slaughtered due to their lineage or name brings to light the systematic injustices present in the world of One Piece. The chapter also delves into multiple flashbacks of Kuma, providing a deeper understanding of his past and his motivations. We see Bonnie's fierce resolve to lay Saturn down on the ground, which shows her growth and the culmination of her character arc. The Liberating Punch, or the Liberating Nika Punch, is not just a powerful punch, but a symbol of liberation and a defiance against the oppressive forces. In this chapter, Oda takes a second to let everyone breathe and focuses on Vegapunk's broadcast here for a bit, right? He announces that the weapons that sunk the world all the time ago are still being used today. I wonder who's out here using dangerous weapons that can destroy the world. Now, spoiler alert, it's the world government. Emu specifically. Not only that, but it also looks like Vegapunk has learned the lesson that his friend was trying to show him and is now talking about the people who are still hunted and slaughtered today due to their lineage or even just their name. We see a bunch of people who have been discriminated against because of their race and names, and multiple Kuma flashbacks appear as Bonnie revs up to lay Saint Saturn down on the ground. And then we see the combined powers of both Nikas at full display. Luffy and Bonnie both charge up their biggest attack we've seen in the last couple of chapters, and the Liberating Punch, or the Liberating Nika Punch, punches Saturn to oblivion. And we see the spider-like Gorosei fly away, his body riddled with holes, and then everyone starts celebrating. Even the giants join in on it. And it looks like with Bonnie and Luffy both flying around like Nika, the Straw Hats finally stand a chance against the terrifying Gorosei. The Liberating Nika Punch is nothing short of epic, and I hope we get to see more combos like this in the future with Luffy and Bonnie, because seeing them team up against the Gorosei right now is nothing short of incredible. So if there are two new people in the Straw Hat ship, who is going to be part of the Straw Hats? Is it going to be Bonnie, or is Lilith going to stay behind? Now, while the Thousand Sunny is still up in the sky, escaping and trying to find safety, Vegapunk finally reveals that the king of the pirates, Goldie Roger, is the only one who set all of this into motion. But we still don't know who is going to be the one to finally reach the truth. Like Vegapunk says, we don't know if the One Piece will be found by someone who Joy Boy wants. And now Oda sets up the final saga in the last panels of this chapter. We see a panel of Luffy, Shanks, Shanks, Blackbeard, Buggy, and everyone even remotely related to the One Piece. This is what the Egghead arc has been leading up to. This is how the final saga is going to begin, with all the players ready, and it's now a race to see who makes it to the One Piece first. With Shanks, Buggy, Blackbeard, and even the Marines in play now, it's going to be a free-for-all on the 7 seas, with every party looking for the One Piece at once. We've already seen how Shanks took the Poneglyph from Eustace, Captain Kidd, and his crew, so I doubt we're going to see any team-ups anytime soon. Now, since Shanks is going for the One Piece himself, the Straw Hats need to escape from Egghead Island as soon as possible. Even Emu is also among the people shown in the final chapter or the final panel, so it looks like the Straw Hats will have to face all these people if they want to reach the One Piece. Luffy's dream of becoming the Pirate King is just at hand, but the Straw Hats still have a long way to go before they reach the final line. And with the powerful enemies like Emu in their path, Luffy has the work cut out for him. Like, sure, he has powerful allies like the Giants on his side, right? But he still has a long way to go before he can even call himself the Pirate King. And that is all to say about chapter 1121. Oda leaves us and everyone in the One Piece world on the edge of their seats, but don't worry about that, because we know, or we have one final chapter to go before this video ends. So take your time, relax, and before we continue, I'd like to remind y'all to like, comment, and please subscribe to the channel and share if possible to your friends so more people can join the family. So without further ado, let's jump right into chapter 1122 of One Piece. In this chapter, Oda doesn't waste any time, and the chapter begins with reactions around the world to Vegapunk's words. Pirates from around the world are jumping at the opportunity to find the One Piece, and this is a free-for-all situation now. Some people are worried about the world sinking, but most of the pirates just want to be the ones to find the One Piece for themselves. Even Kobe, someone who grew up with Luffy, is claiming that he's going to stop Luffy from becoming the Pirate King. Now, I know that they did not grow together, but you know what I mean, right? We see how they've both grown from where they were when they first met on Alvida's ship to where they both are right now. On the other hand, we see Blackbeard and Buggy getting ready to set out for the One Piece themselves, and the crews ready to do anything for their captains. And now we're back to the action at Egghead Island. We see Emeth get thrown back by Valkyrie, and the transponder snail inside of it has stopped broadcasting. It looks like the Gorosei have finally start Vegapunk's broadcast, but at what cost? Now everyone in the world is after the One Piece, and the mess has already been made. What are they going to do now? Now, meanwhile, Natsujiro is back on the Thousand Sunny's tail, and Zoro must be the one to hold him back. But will he be able to do so? Is our swordsman strong enough to hold back Natsujiro all by himself? Doesn't matter for now, because Oda cuts back to Emeth, and the giant robot is having a one-on-one conversation with Luffy, even amongst all this chaos. Emeth asks Luffy his name and thanks him one final time. And in the following panel, we see Jupiter, Valkyrie, and Natsujiro all about to attack the Straw Hats. Even Saturn is regenerating, and it looks like the Straw Hats are finally about to go down. Just as they are about to be destroyed, a rope snaps inside of Emeth, and an immense explosion of Conqueror's Haki covers everyone. Is this what Emeth was trying to use all this time? How can a giant robot even have Conqueror's Haki? Doesn't matter, because everyone surrounding the Straw Hats immediately faints because of the powerful Haki. Even the Gorosei are transformed back to their human form, and it looks like they had to retreat back to Marijoa. So the Straw Hats are finally free to escape, and no giant monster is chasing them down. Emeth did it, and from the looks of it, even Emu was affected by the Haki that Emeth released, because right now he is screaming and quivering in pain. And what is happening? Why would it hurt Emu? And how is Joy Boy related to this? And the Straw Hats are finally reunited. It's time to leave the island behind. The way is clear for them now, but what is going to happen to Emeth now? We see our giant robot friend finally shut down in front of Saturn, but wait, he didn't get transported back to Marijoa? Oda hits us with another flashback, but this time it's Emeth's past that we get to see. We are finally getting to see Joy Boy, but it looks like we're only getting a silhouette of him. Man, Oda, what can you say? Oda loves his silhouettes. And now we we know how a giant robot can get Conqueror's Haki. It was Joy Boy's Haki all along, and so strong that it turns the Gorosei back into their human forms. In the flashback, Emeth and Joy Boy have a heartfelt conversation, and Joy Boy tells it that he'll come back to save the giant robot from the past, and we see Emeth finally shut down, revealing his happiest memories with his friend. And that is where the chapter ends, and it looks like this might be the last we see of Emeth, but at least it got to fulfill its promise to Joy Boy, protecting someone it wanted to in the end. But after all this time, Joy Boy's Haki is still this strong? Fam, Luffy has ways to go. Hopefully Elbaf does something and helps Luffy close this power gap, because what? That is crazy. The Egghead arc basically has come to an end, and the Straw Hats can finally escape the island with both Kuma and Bonnie. But man, did they get lucky. Emeth is the reason that the Straw Hats are sailing away from the island safely. They owe everything to that giant robot. We got some of the most epic panels in the entire series in the last couple of chapters. Bonnie and Luffy teaming up to beat Saturn. And let's not forget about Emeth blowing everyone away with Joy Boy's Conqueror's Haki. Now, speaking of Joy Boy, we finally get to see him in the flesh. Sure, it was a flashback, but this is the first time we've seen Joy Boy. And now the final saga has begun, and Vegapunk revealed that whoever finds the One Piece first will be the one to change the world. It's now a race against time. So who will reach the One Piece first? And what will Imu do now? The Gorosei were unable to stop Vegapunk's broadcast, and now everyone in the world knows about the One Piece and the legacy of the D-Clan. The Straw Hats need to recover quickly and get on with looking for the One Piece, because they cannot waste any more time. No more parties in Elbaf for right now. For now, they finally escaped Egghead Island alive. We'll have to wait and see what they do next, because I am excited for the next couple of chapters. Oda, you are on fire right now. But wait, before I end the video, kindly like, comment, subscribe again. And if you watch to the end of the video, I want you to comment Joy Boy Straw Hat. Yeah, that will work. Joy Boy Straw Hats. Comment Joy Boy Straw Hats so I know you stayed to the end of the video. If you did, fam, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll catch you in the next one. There's your boy setting sail. Peace.